Gregory Peck was known for his measured voice, upright characters, and sense of calm gravitas. He was Atticus Finch, after all, the man who symbolized fairness, justice, and quiet strength. But not every Hollywood leading man was impressed. One, in particular, harbored a resentment so deep he couldn't hide it in interviews even years later, and that man was Kirk Douglas. Douglas, famous for Spartacus and Lust for Life, was a fiery, intense actor known for his aggressive style and larger-than-life ego. Peck, on the other hand, was calm, diplomatic, and restrained. On the surface, they were polar opposites, and that's exactly why they clashed. Their feud began with casting battles. In the late 1950s, both stars were vying for major dramatic roles. When Gregory Peck was cast in Captain Horatio Hornblower, a part Douglas desperately wanted, it set the tone for a rivalry that would quietly simmer for years. Douglas believed Peck was selected not for talent but because of his clean-cut image and close ties with studio heads. He saw him as Hollywood's favorite poster boy, safe, dependable, and lacking edge. The real turning point came during the production of The Big Country 1958, where Douglas was briefly considered for a role but was passed over again, allegedly at Peck's own urging. According to those close to the film, Peck didn't want someone as volatile as Douglas stealing the spotlight. It infuriated Kirk. From that moment on, he began referring to Peck in interviews as wooden and a man who acts from the neck up. It wasn't just criticism, it was contempt. Douglas also believed Peck's public persona was a facade. He once said in an off-camera conversation, "Peck pretends he's above the game, but he's the biggest player in town. He'll smile for the camera while stabbing you in the back." The feud went unspoken for years, but Hollywood insiders always knew when casting decisions were being made. If Peck had a say, Douglas wouldn't be considered. Later in life, when both actors were asked about each other in interviews, the barbs still surfaced. Peck kept it classy but distant. Douglas, though, never forgot. In his autobiography, The Ragman's Son, he described Peck as a talented actor who played good men but didn't necessarily behave like one behind the curtain. Even into their 70s and 82nds, the bitterness lingered. It wasn't just a matter of professional jealousy, it was a battle of egos, philosophies, and reputations. Peck stood for polished, principled Hollywood. Douglas stood for raw energy and unfiltered ambition. They were titans who couldn't share the same sky. In the end, Kirk Douglas outlived Gregory Peck by nearly 2 decades, and while he mellowed with age, he never revised his opinion. "Gregory and I were not friends," he once said in a candid interview, "and I don't believe we were meant to be. The secret is out." One of Hollywood's most iconic men utterly hated Gregory Peck. And now, after all these years, we finally understand why.
Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.